So some new developments regarding the Henry Nowak case, with the announcement late last night that Henry Nowak's killer Vickrum Digwa has now been moved from Category B Winchester Prison to the Category A High Security Frankland Jail in Durham, also known as Monster Mansion. In this video I'll be taking you through this latest development, and then I want to touch upon some other news regarding Vickrum's brother Gurpreet and how Hampshire Constabulary have chosen not to pursue any charges in relation to Henry Nowak's murder. Take a listen to the following. The killer of student Henry Nowak is cowering in his cell after being moved to the prison where Ian Huntley was murdered. Terrified Vickrum Digwa, 23, has been switched from Winchester Jail to HMP Frankland in County Durham. He is an enhanced inmate with privileges, but is being monitored round the clock by guards amid fears he could be targeted or harm himself. Last month, Digwa was jailed for murdering Henry, 18, in Southampton after falsely claiming a racist attack. A source said Digwa was okay at Winchester and wanted to stay there, and no prison governor really wanted him, so to say he's frightened now is an understatement. He's cowering in his cell and doesn't want to mix. He's already had threats and is aware of what happened to Huntley. He's in a really bad situation and knows it, not that anyone feels sorry for him. Staff are checking on him every 15 minutes, but that won't last forever. The newspaper has also revealed that Digwa is barred from any contact with his brother Gurpreet, 27, who also lied to police about Henry and has been charged with weapons offences. Digwa is also blocked from communicating with his mum Kieran Kaur, who was convicted of assisting an offender. HMP Frankland is nicknamed Monster Mansion due to the fiends it holds, including murderers Levi Belfield and ex-cop Wayne Cousins. Soham child killer Huntley, 52, was fatally battered there with a metal bar in February. Another prisoner has been charged with his murder. So now let's take a look at the recent news that Hampshire Police have chosen not to pursue any charges whatsoever in relation to Vickrum's brother Gurpreet. And again, this is in connection with Henry Nowak's murder. Take a listen to the following. The decision not to charge the brother of Henry Nowak's killer after he falsely accused him of racism and being the aggressor was today branded incredible. A leading lawyer believes Gurpreet Digwa should have been prosecuted for perverting the course of justice at the very least. Marcus Johnston of PCD Solicitors said evidence at the trial of Henry's killer Vickrum Digwa also suggested his brother may have committed perjury, assisted an offender and obstructed police. But the newspaper can reveal that Hampshire Police did not ask the Crown Prosecution Service to consider any case whatsoever against Gurpreet over Henry's murder. Gurpreet Digwa watched as police handcuffed fatally injured Henry, who had been stabbed with a Sikh ceremonial sword on December 3, 2025. But claims Henry launched a racist attack were later revealed to be a wicked lie. Marcus Johnston told the newspaper, "There is no doubt Gurpreet Digwa has likely committed one or more criminal offences in assisting his brother to cover up Henry Nowak's murder." Right, let's just break away from this just for a second, because I've given this quite a lot of thought over the previous few weeks regarding this case and how this sort of all unfolded. Now, there's obviously the incident between Vickrum Digwa and Henry Nowak, which results in Henry Nowak being fatally wounded. Now, my initial thoughts were, well, did he then go to his brother? Did Vickrum go to his brother and say, "Oh, this white guy's attacked me," making up this big cock and ball story? The brothers then phoned the police with that information. And on the face of it, you could kind of see that's almost plausible. But what gets me is the fact that the mother has actually attended this scene before the police arrive and has taken the murder weapon back to the home address. So at that point, the brother must be well aware that a stabbing or some kind of violent incident has actually taken place, particularly involving his brother. Not so much Henry, but his brother. Now, with all the backlash, with all the negative press, with the riots, with everything that took place after that body cam footage was made public, you would have thought to yourself, well, Hampshire Police will try and do the right thing. They'll try and make this right in some way, shape or form. But it's almost as if, well, if we don't speak about this, if we don't take it any further, then hopefully it'll all blow over. And to me, that's just not a good look. It's not a good look at all. Now, let's continue with this article because it gets even worse. The judge referred to Vickrum Digwa and his mother for both perverting the course of justice. It seems incredible his brother was not also charged. This reflects extremely badly on the police. And again, this is Marcus Johnston speaking. It comes as Vickrum Digwa's jail term is set to be reconsidered under the unduly lenient sentence scheme, I've covered that in a previous video, amid claims the case shows two-tier justice. An online petition is calling for Gurpreet to be reinvestigated. That's interesting. Although never charged, he was at the centre of the case that saw his younger brother convicted of murder. Gurpreet had also called 999, falsely claiming Henry had racially abused him and his brother. "We've just been attacked racially by some white person," he said. Gurpreet himself may just have been accepting that which Digwa told him. And this is the point. I'm sort of unsure about the 999 call, because you have to think at this point, what has his brother been told by Vickrum? Has his brother come up to him in great distress? "Oh, I've been attacked by this white person, he's done this, that and the other." Now, as a brother, who would you believe? Would you believe your younger brother? Or would you think, actually, he's lying, something else has taken place here? So the initial response by his brother, you would say, is almost normal. But the mother, at some stage, before the police arrive, and again, this is the critical point, before the police arrive, the mother comes to the scene and takes away the murder weapon. So at that stage, the brother must also be aware that something else has taken place regarding his younger brother, regarding something his younger brother has done. Anyway, let's continue. Gurpreet had also insisted to the 999 operator that there were no weapons involved, despite both brothers carrying Sikh ceremonial knives. He added, "The guy has fallen over because he looks drunk." After Henry died, both brothers were arrested. Vickrum continued to claim he was the victim of a racist attack. Now, this is the most critical point. Officers later placed the siblings together in a police van where their conversations were covertly recorded. So, the police have taken steps to record these individuals in a police van. Speaking in Punjabi, Vickrum admitted to stabbing Nowak multiple times, including to the chest. The brothers appeared to agree on claiming Henry was stabbed in self-defence. Neither of them mentioned racism during the conversation, despite repeatedly telling police they were the victims of racist abuse on the night Henry was stabbed to death. Yet Hampshire Police never asked the CPS to charge Gurpreet over the case. Now, this was 2 days, so 2 days after Henry was killed, these brothers are in a police van. They're on their way to court because they're trying to extend the time that they can question these individuals in custody. And during that conversation, it comes out that, I can't say it's self-defence. If they've got cameras on this road, I can't say it's self-defence. They're going to see what's happened. The brother is going along with this story and saying, you'll have to say it's self-defence. His brother is covering for the killer. So how can the police at this stage not think to themselves, well, hang on a minute, he's assisting an offender? That's clearly what's taking place here. And yet they haven't even gone to the CPS to try and get any charges. They haven't even attempted to contact the CPS and put those charges forward. Absolute madness. Officers only sought charges against Vickrum and his mother, who has admitted perverting the course of justice, the newspaper has learned. So she's actually admitted perverting the course of justice. Critics say the failure to pursue Gurpreet further fuels claims of two-tier justice. Henry's godmother, Kelly Hatchard, said the family had been subjected to sit in a room with the monster who brutally murdered their son and watched the lies spill so easily from his mouth, I guess talking about the court case. She added, his last moments were not only spent so afraid of the monster who attacked him, but he was then wronged and let down by the police officer, who I have no doubt Henry assumed was there to help him. Shame on you all, you treated a loving, caring, intelligent, hard-working young man with such disregard and disrespect. Mr. Johnston said Gurpreet Digwa could potentially have faced offences including perverting the course of justice, assisting an offender and wasting police time. If police fail to send a file to the CPS, this reflects extremely badly on them, he said. He added the judge's sentencing remarks pointed to Gurpreet's involvement. Judge William Mousley KC told Vickrum, your brother did much the same. You joined your brother in relating these lies to the police. Referring to the covert recording, he added, Vickrum had decided to try to cover it up. Mr. Johnston said, if Gurpreet was the only other party, it follows he was also covering up what happened. Hampshire Police has defended the decision not to submit a file to the CPS on Gurpreet. A spokesman said, investigators kept an open mind and considered all relevant offences. The offences charged were laid after careful review of all the available evidence. Well, I'm sure you'll agree that sounds like a complete load of tosh. Now, my biggest issue with Hampshire Constabulary comes from what happened immediately after Henry Nowak's murder. So we're talking like 2 days after Henry Nowak's death. Now, 2 days later, which I believe was the 6th, they were taking the two brothers to court, as I just stated earlier. They were taking them to court and they covertly recorded them in this prison van. And during that trip to court, they came clean. They said, this wasn't a racist attack. I can't say it's self-defence. This happened, that happened. If they've got CCTV or Ring doorbell footage on that street, I'm screwed. They basically came clean. And at that point, Hampshire Constabulary knew full well that this was no longer a racist attack. There was no racism involved whatsoever. And then the very next day, despite having all of this evidence that Vickrum Digwa had lied, and the brother was now attempting to go along with this whole ruse and trying to cover it up, despite having all of that information, the police then contacted the Nowak family and said, we're putting out a press appeal tomorrow. We're going to include this tribute to your son, but we're also going to put in this press appeal that Henry Nowak, your son, was the aggressor in this whole incident. Now, I've actually got a video on the channel that goes into a great deal of detail regarding this particular point and how Hampshire Police were trying to portray Henry as the aggressor in this incident, even knowing full well that Vickrum Digwa and his brother had lied when they planned to put out this press appeal. I'll put a link to that particular video down in the video description box below. Anyway, do let me know some of your own thoughts regarding these latest developments. The prison move to HMP Frankland, Monster Munch Mansion, and also the fact that the brother, Gurpreet Digwa, will not face any further charges in relation to Henry Nowak's murder. And it's also worth remembering, just before we bring this video to its conclusion, that both Gurpreet Digwa, Vickrum Digwa and the father are still facing the weapons charges. Those haven't been dropped. So Gurpreet and the father, they're due back in court in July. So do stay tuned for future updates regarding that particular court appearance. Anyway, many thanks for joining me for this video. I look forward to seeing you all again for the next one. Take care. Cheers.